Greetings, guys. Let me put the camera in the right position here. We're gonna do some playing. I feel good today. I feel like I'm in a good mood. Good mood to play guitar. I got free reign of how long to record for. It's not telling me don't record here and there. So, backing track in B minor on the 550. I feel like playing this one today. It's got nines on it. Hopefully that'll be a little more good on my hands. noise gate in my Boss unit. Man, my speed picking has left me because of that wrist injury. But I'm slowly getting it back. Southern Rock, Chill Groove in D. That's blues. I'm not too good on that. Summer Rock Groove in D. That sounds pretty fun. Let's do that one. guys, I can't record too long. It's coming a storm up here. But man, we have one more because I'm kind of feeling like in the mood to do like something E minor. Let's do this one. This one's 16 minutes. I've done this before, but we're gonna do it again. I haven't played E minor in a while. Picking's starting to come back a little bit. I don't know how I did that. have to get going, guys. It's getting bad up here. So I thank you all for watching so much, dude. And the wrist is getting there. It's really getting there. The speed picking is a little. So, and some of that I was playing for the sake of speed, trying to be fast and stuff like that, but tried to keep it as musical as I could. And I really appreciate all the comments on the last video. Like, it's been rough for me with this wrist going crazy on me there for a bit. And, you know, if I can't play, I get sad. Boy, that defretness is getting bad. Hear that? Just on the bottom two strings, not too bad. But thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the feedback and everything like that. Had to get this out, you know, for today. This is the Road Flare Red. This is not orange. So, let's clear that up real fast. I've had a lot of comments on this guitar. Dude, the orange looks sick, you know. It's not orange. My phone makes it appear as though it is orange. But this is the Road Flare Red 2022 RG550 Genesis Collection. And I've played it a lot. It's been a fantastic instrument. This bridge is perfect. The original edge. It never goes out of tune much. It's always in. Usually. Yeah. Probably intonation issues, but or Stranger Old. I don't get it out too often much lately. It's probably going to need fret leveling soon. But the strings seem okay. I don't know. Let's see what the tuner says real quick while I'm on camera. So see, you know, they say the Floyd Rose or the original Edge will always stay in tune. Yeah, sometimes. But sometimes they're a little low. Such is the case today. Pretty much on, except for the bottom three strings. They're the only ones that really went out. Yep, perfect tune. So, I mean, the original Edge, what can you say about it? It's a fantastic bridge. You will have to tune them every so often, you know. This one probably needs a neck adjustment. Let's have a look at that while we're here. Actually, no, it's got just the right gap. Nice. But dude, go get you one of these, play this thing, and you know, for the money, it's gonna be the best Japanese Ibanez that you can pay for. So once again, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the comments in the last video. It really helps to keep me playing, man. Just to know that I sound musical when I do this kind of thing is really cool. Because I know I play a lot of the same licks over and over and over and over because I don't know music theory. I've never been formally taught. But it's really awesome to have you guys' input and feedback, and I hope you keep watching, and I'll keep doing more of these. Keep it metal out there, and we'll see you next time.